Morning. Man, it's pretty out here. Today we're going to talk about this complete 180 in the weather patterns. We have gone from everyday rain in the 80s, high 80s, every day, rain, rain, rain. Now we're going into almost 100 degrees the next 10 days, no rain, dry. So we've got to sort of change our patterns here. Actually, we can do some things that we've been holding off on because we're getting so much rain. I have got a ton of stuff. This is Sunday. I'm here all by myself. I've got a ton of stuff I got to get done today. So I'm just going to string together a video. I hope you'll excuse because it's going to be a little bit rough. I'll talk a little bit about this heat and what you can do differently on your lawns. Number two, I'll take you up. I'll show you the gardens that are going on in the corn. Unbelievable. With all this rain, I've got hundreds of pounds of produce up there. It's just crazy. You need to see this. Next, I have a special surprise I got for Father's Day. Now, this is a surprise that I wanted for a year, but it's sort of the last, as you guys know, on this property, the last year we wanted to make it off-grid capable, and one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to get an electric UTV. But I started looking around, they're just outrageously expensive, so I got something else I'll show you here in a second. And also for hunting purposes, I wanted something quiet every morning. Instead of driving all around in gas carts, I wanted something really quiet back in there. So I'll show you that. What else have I got going on? Oh, so I apologize for not posting videos the past couple days, but I worked on kind of a sensitive subject video about the upcoming homeland attacks on the U.S., the planned plots that have been in the works for probably several years now. And I think it's something that if you follow my channel, if you're a subscriber, if you've just been following me, go watch this video. It's really important. Now, make sure you don't have any kids around. You don't want the kids in the room when you're watching this. It'll probably scare them, but go over, just type in @SavagePrepping. Just go to Google, type in all one word, @SavagePrepping. That'll bring up our YouTube channel, and I just uploaded a video on this. It's a pretty sensitive subject, but I'm telling you, it's been weighing heavy on my soul, and for the past several months I've been wanting to do a video on this and just saying, folks, we need to be a little bit prepared for this. So, and once you're prepared, I want you to understand something. Once you're prepared, you can go on and live your life and enjoy your life. You don't sit around and worrying about stuff. That's what I'm doing. So anyways, I'm gonna go throw a fishing lure real quick. Well, let me walk over here. Let me show you my Father's Day surprise, and then we'll talk about these lawns. Now, the backyard, as you guys know, I've sort of given up on the backyard. I'm just cutting it because I need to come in here, and what I need to do is see how this is a dead area? Well, it's really low. Well, there's a 1,000-gallon septic tank here that needs to be pumped, and then I need to bring in soil, and I need to reshape this whole lawn. So I'm really not doing too much back here. I've got a mix of grasses, but I got to bring in some dirt and shift things around. Okay, so let me just show you up front. Here it is. This is my Father's Day present that I gave to myself. This is, when I looked up electric UTVs, they were like $20,000. I was like, dude, this is actually a golf cart that they sell that has UTV modifications. So it has a real heavy basket on the front, has a winch, has all your lights, a heavy duty brush guard. It is jacked up a little bit, decent wheels on it, but it has a tilt bed on it. Now, it has all the features that a golf cart has. It has a tow hitch on it. It actually has, let me see if I can pop it up real quick. See if you can see this. It's kind of cool. It has a backup camera. It has your winch switches on it and a remote control for the winch. It has a 48 volt, 150 amp hour lithium battery. And the nice thing about this is I can charge this pretty much once a week, and that's it. I just wanted to stop putting so many miles on my John Deere. That John Deere is really powerful, and it's a beast of a machine. I don't need to be, I'm riding this thing all day long. So this, plus when I go hunting in the morning, it's really quiet. I don't make any noise. So anyways, that's it. By the way, if you're interested in something like this, now down at the beach house, we had a gas golf cart for years, and the wife was like, I want an electric. So last year we actually bought the same manufacturer, Candy, and we bought it through Lowe's because I get my military discount. So this thing I think it's like $9 grand, and I got $1,000 off, free liftgate delivery. And so you can use your military discount. So we bought one down there, and I just bought this one. What's funny is they delivered it on a box truck. And I was like, how the hell are you going to get this off? And he said, I got a tow truck, flatbed coming. They pulled up a flatbed to the back truck. I drove it on the flatbed, and then I backed it off. It was a shit show. No, it actually worked out really well. So, man, I love this thing. Only problem I've got, and I didn't think about this before I ordered it, that roof sits at about 81, 82. My door here is 77. So Jesse's going to come over, and we're going to open this up. We're going to move these doors, and we'll put some kind of extension on the bottom, I guess, because I really do want to keep it in here. I don't want to keep it up in my building. Okay, next, let's talk about real quick. If you have a warm season grass, if you have Bermuda, if you have zoysia, it loves the heat as long as it has water. So I don't know that we'll be in a drought, but I know we're going to be short on water. So unfortunately, you're going to be at a point where you're going to have some irrigation. You can just maintain what you're doing. Now that all these heavy rains are gone, you can actually start to put down slow release fertilizers again. Do light coats, just light coats. But the other thing you can do is you can shoot out Lawn Alive, this new spray. You can do that, spray it at sunset, and then early in the morning, water it in, and then put out Dirt Booster. Now, Dirt Booster is fantastic for summertime because it has no raw nutrients in it. You can put it out every single day. There's no nutrients in it. It has to break down for the nutrients to be used. It's just like a compost pile. But you're putting down organic matter, you're putting down humic acid, you're putting down biochar, and you're putting down endomycorrhizal fungi. Now, the mycorrhizal fungi extends your root zone out 3 to 4 times, and it brings in water and nutrients, and in return, your plant gives it sugars. It's a symbiotic relationship that happens everywhere in nature. So that's what's wonderful about it. Now, that's the only thing we use in our compost piles up in the garden for 5 years, and we have explosive growth there. But at the beach house, I fixed that lawn in 2.5 weeks, and one of the last things I did was I started hitting it with Lawn Alive, and I put down Dirt Booster Plus. So I'll link to it on the description below. I'll link to a page. I'll have everything on there if you want to get it. But man, Dirt Booster Plus that you only put out during the warm season. This is it. Lawn Alive, it's very mild. You're not going to burn your lawn. You can go out once a week and hit your lawn with Lawn Alive. It's a little bit of nitrogen. The other thing you can do now is core aeration. Core aeration, it's a great time to do a core aeration. The problem that you're going to run into right now is irrigation. And if you're paying for your water bill, we did an experiment during a drought one time a couple years ago, and I think our water bill was like $400 for the month. It can get up there. But I have free water here, so it's not a problem. Now, we also installed this year, we have a 2-inch high pressure pump down here that shoots 600, 700 feet up into our fields. We get free water out of our pond. Now, I can also use that water to go water some of these areas like over here, and even all these new flower beds that Rachel put in. Someone's got to water them. I guess that's me. So I'm going to go throw a fishing lure. I need to get some worms, some plastic worms. And then we'll head up to the gardens, and I'll show you the gardens. But just be aware that when you start to get up into this 90-something degrees, the warm season lawns will take it. You just got to have irrigation if you start to dry out. Well, she's still going. So this is all we use for our vegetables. That's it. I have several videos of how you guys can make this. Put this into your soil when you plant, and then top dress during the year. The way you guys make it basically is black cow compost manure or pre-composted manure, Dirt Booster Plus, a little bit of water, and pop it up. Now this pile got up to 140 something degrees the other day. I did add some extra alfalfa pellets, and I think I'm going to get the John Deere later and put one more treatment of Dirt Booster Plus, and then we're going to be top dressing all these vegetables in here, probably for one of the last top dress of the season. I like to do it about every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but I think this will probably be it because I got so much produce in there. What's interesting, is I'm having issues with my toe behind cutter, by the way. I'm getting ready to do a video on it. There's a design flaw on it that I've tried to talk to them about at DR, and it seems like no one wants to talk to me about it. So I'm going to do a video on it. In between these rows, we have clover and chicory and stuff for the deer to eat. And that's the way we designed this. So a 6-foot row in between. And I can see deer in these rows at night. It's really cool. But while I was cutting it, I was going really, really slow because I knew that there'd be a baby in here. And sure enough, 2 babies popped up and ran off. And I was like, dude, I do not want to cut up one of my babies. There may pop up one now. Well, it is nice not to have a muddy chicken run. I've been putting wheat straw down here. If you have chickens, throw down a bale of wheat straw. It'll keep them entertained for weeks. They just dig in it. I've been taking my big zucchini, which I'll show you here in a minute, and I cut them in half, and they just devour them. I mean, it takes 5 minutes. Look, this was a massive hybrid yellow zucchini, and look what they did to it. It's down to the skin. Isn't that crazy? But they love the seeds. They absolutely love the seeds. So I'll take any produce. They love tomatoes. They love cucumbers. They love zucchinis. I'll throw a tomato in and it's like 30 chickens run after the tomato. It's not good. Time to release the hounds. Here's this is my magnet. I opened it up, and for some reason it's not working. I have my fan on this week all the time. Normally my fan is on a timer, and I just went ahead and turned it on. It's gonna be so hot. Come on out, girls. Go do your thing. Go do your thing. I'm gonna have to manually prop this. I guess I'll have to manually prop the door open. And then I'll just open this one in case. Hi. Oh, you were sleeping in. You were sleeping in. Oh, there's another one. Come on, girls. Are you in there? Who's sleeping in? You know, we always, every year we do a wildflower planting around our gardens. I didn't do too much this year, but look at these zinnias. Aren't they gorgeous? They're just gorgeous. And they're all in here too. And then this year we moved the wildflowers on the outside of the fence. And I really need to plant some different stuff in here, but I need to put some zinnias probably, but you can see. That's just full of bees and butterflies. Okay. We still are having a beetle issue, Japanese beetle issue, but it's a little bit better. My bags are basically full, but I still see in the morning, there's certain areas, like right now I'm looking at a plant and I can see a bunch of beetles on it. So here's my corn. This is the best field. This corn is probably, I don't know, how tall is this? So here I am. That corn has got to be 5, 6, 7, 8. It's getting up close to 9 feet on the tassels. And then I have, whenever you see a tassel, that's a pollinator. And then of course you'll see your baby corn coming out. See it? So most of this we leave for the deer, but I probably will do a sort of neighborhood corn picking. I'll invite everybody over because we give away all of our eggs and produce to our friends and neighbors, and so maybe I'll invite people over and maybe have them do a corn picking. We'll see if the crop is good enough to actually eat. The first year we did it, we actually ate a couple and it was good. But field 1 is the best. Then you got field 2, that's pretty good. And then field 3 up there is just weak. And that just has to do with soil. Part of being prepared is understanding what can fall in your house. That one can actually reach my house. That one's coming down and the one in the back's coming down. Damn. He's eating that one too. He's cutting out my Blink security camera. We've got several natural areas. This area over here, I've planted some Bermuda and I've got a lot of clover in there. I need to go ahead and cut that and bring that down. I do have a hose I can run up here to get some irrigation on that. This is interesting. This looks fantastic. Now a year ago I threw out a bunch of centipede. Look at this. This looks fantastic in here. There's still some clover and weeds, but this is going really well. I really like centipede on natural areas, by the way. I've got it on the pond berm and I've got it here, and I may get some more. The problem is centipede's expensive. This is gorgeous. This used to be horrible. Look, this was a junk pile, but this has really turned out nice. Now we leave weeds, clover, crabgrass, I don't care. But we did come out and we seeded common Bermuda in here. And once you cut it, it actually looks really nice. Yeah, hummingbird. I see a hummingbird down there. He's sitting on my rope. Time to cut some produce. So I'm going to give some produce to the girls. My neighbors are thrilled. I am loading them up with produce. I mean, I picked probably 40 pounds of tomatoes the other day. I got zucchini. I got green peppers. I got jalapenos. I've got cucumbers. I've got yellow squash. All kinds of stuff. It's just nuts. So this is actually, let me just walk you around a bit. This is actually a hybrid zucchini. It's actually yellow. And this is the same thing here. This is, I let some of these get really big just for the chickens, and they destroy it. They love it. They love the seeds and they love the interior. So I've got yellow hybrid zucchini. Then I go into green regular zucchini. Same thing. Look at these monsters here. Look at that. Look at the size of that thing. Then I go into yellow squash. I have 52 tomato plants in here. Look at all the tomatoes. This is nuts. This is crazy. Look at this. Is that crazy or what? So, like a lot of you guys and other people I've seen, with all this rain and humidity, we have really been battling disease. So you're going to get, let me find a piece of it here. Right here is a good one. You're going to be battling this right here. You got blight, you got fungus. So we just keep stripping and stripping, and hopefully this dry zone will help with some of that. I probably need to spray a little bit, but you got to be real careful with your fungus sprays in this heat, because you can burn these plants. Matter of fact, we had a little bit of a burn. So I'm holding off on the fungus spray, but I'm telling you, I mean, I've got 52 tomato plants. Each tomato plant probably has 10 tomatoes on it right now. I've got 500 tomatoes, plus I've got cherry tomatoes. It's just nuts, absolutely nuts. Now, over here, we've got lettuce, carrots, and herbs. Then we have our trellis. Now the trellises, this used to be green beans, and the last one used to be green beans, and they got out of control. We picked a 5-gallon bucket full of green beans, and the problem is I got to spend too much time out here, and Rachel does, picking green beans, and then not that many people want them. They want cucumbers. So we tore out the green beans, and we actually planted new cucumber plants. Oh, they're already even. Look at that. Now that's crazy, dude. Look how big that got. And then I've already got seed germination here. I'm telling you guys, we dug this out when we pull those beans, and we filled that trench with the dirt booster compost, and then we put a little bit of natural soil back on top. Man, that plant has doubled in 48 hours. That's nuts. But look at how they grow. Look at how the cucumbers grow here on the trellis. Look at this. So much better on the trellises. They're just hanging down versus not being able to find them down below. I got 3 I cut yesterday. I mean, this is so much nicer on these trellises. And we're going to do this in the squash garden next year. But then I've got all kinds of more zucchinis and squashes over here. This is Chicken Coop 2.0 for the new girls. I've got 15 new girls coming in just a couple weeks. So we also have been getting their brooder ready for when they arrive, little baby chicks. And then my green peppers are shooting up. This is all green peppers, loaded with green peppers. Jalapenos, I've got way too many jalapenos. Green peppers, jalapenos. Why I'm walking around with a knife, I don't know. Actually, I was gonna cut some stuff for the chickens. Okay, so our main garden and chicken coops are over here. We had this building installed last year. What a lifesaver that is. And then over here, we put in this massive squash garden, which is like 35 by 100. Now around the edge of it, we planted corn just for the heck of it. And man, this corn over here is 7 to 10 feet tall over here. I put out some sunflower seeds. I must have got a bad batch because I've only got like 2 or 3 sunflowers. You can see it up here. The sunflower. Okay, so if you follow my channel, you're gonna freak out because you know what this used to look like. Okay, we have trouble even walking in here. Look at this. Is that absolutely nuts or what? Absolutely nuts. Right now, I have to step on some plants. Ugh. But like butternut squash, look. Butternut, 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 butternut. There's got to be 100 butternut squash in here. Then I go over to, I did have cantaloupe and watermelon, but the butternut squash has taken that over. Then I've got Hubbard squash, which is really good. I've never planted that. Then I have winter spaghetti squash, and the Hubbard squash is fantastic. But then I go over to other squashes. We're going to put, next year, we're going to do 3 trellises, 3 rows of trellises, and we're going to let this trellis over it just to help solve some of this navigation issue. And I'll show you why we're going to do this. I watched a video online of a guy that does it, but look at this. Look at that Hubbard squash growing right there. I mean, that thing's 4 pounds growing on my fence. There's another one. And then this plant actually goes up into the trees. Is that crazy or what? That's nuts. And oh, I forgot there's a tomato plant right here too. I forgot that I had some spare tomatoes in. This is just crazy, dude. I've said this before, but if you have never eaten, wow, fresh picked tomatoes, I'm telling you, one of these cherry tomatoes has as much flavor as a full-size store-bought tomato. If you don't believe me, grow some yourself. God, there's way too, oh my gosh, look at all these cucumbers. Dude, I need to get out of here. I'm gonna have to give some to the chickens. Look at that. So, nothing goes to waste here. Any time I have any bad produce, or it's got a worm, or it's ugly, or something, the girls get it and they love it. You're gonna see them. They're gonna freak out here in a minute. God, I got so many tomatoes out here. I need to put another call out to the crews. Okay, girls, hold on. Hold on, let me spread it out. Okay, zucchini. Cucumber, John, you like cucumber here. There, cucumber. Over here, girls. Over here, girls. And then we got tomatoes. Johnny, you like tomatoes. Here, Johnny. Here, buddy, you want some tomato? Yeah, you like tomatoes. Johnny's not as aggressive as the other one, so kind of make sure she gets. Cucumber, tomato. You want me to feed you? You're so spoiled. You are so spoiled. Everyone else can eat on their own, and you have to be hand fed. A quick funny story for you. I put mouse traps out here. I have a few mice. The other day I didn't notice a chicken walked out behind me and was pecking and pecking and pecking. I opened the door, I said, get back in there, and she ran in there with a dead mouse. Chickens are omnivores. They eat meat too. But this is just nuts, man. I'm so glad. I mean, I know it's humid still, but not having rain. I mean, I got so many damaged tomato plants out here from fungus. And thankfully what we're doing is we're trimming all that lower stuff, letting them breathe. Hopefully this top, and you can see we're going up and up and up. Now these are indeterminate tomatoes, which means that they'll keep growing and then they'll come back over. It's crazy. As long as we can keep them alive through all this disease and everything. All right, guys, that's about it. I'm gonna wrap it up. Make sure you go watch that video over at Savage Prepping. While you're over there, subscribe to that channel. That would help us out. And share that video. If you have family members, share that video with them. Some people are gonna say, oh, you're nuts. Whatever, dude. I'm just telling you. I'm just warning you. Doc.